She stopped walking after losing her mom, until the nanny gave her this pink dress that changed everything. The mansion was quiet, too quiet for a house that big. You could almost hear the ticking of the antique clock echoing through the marble halls. Upstairs, in a sunlit room with tall windows, 8-year-old Lily Morgan, daughter of billionaire tech tycoon Richard Morgan, sat on her bed, motionless. She hadn't walked in months. Not since the accident. Not since her mom was gone. Doctors had flown in from all over the country, specialists with long names and polished shoes. They all said the same thing. There's no medical reason why she can't walk. Her body's fine. Yet Lily's legs remained still, as if they no longer belonged to her. One morning, the new nanny arrived. Her name was Ava Johnson. She wasn't like the others. The previous nannies came and went, frustrated, impatient, or too soft to handle silence that heavy. But Ava had a different kind of presence. She was calm, warm, and had a strength in her eyes that Lily noticed right away. "Hi, sweetheart," Ava said gently, crouching to Lily's level the first time they met. "I'm Ava. I'm not here to push you. I just want to be here with you." Lily didn't reply. She just stared at the floor. Ava didn't force her. She simply sat down on the carpet beside a bed, folding her legs, as if to say, "I'll wait as long as it takes." Over the next days, Ava spent her time not just taking care of Lily, but studying her world. She walked through the hallways lined with portraits and family photos. She sat in the living room late at night watching old videos on Mrs. Morgan's laptop. And that's when she saw it. Every evening, without fail, Lily and her mother, Claire Morgan, would dance ballet together. Claire in her elegant flowing gowns, Lily in her tiny ballerina slippers, and most of all, that little pink dress. It wasn't just a dress, it was a piece of her joy. But Ava also learned that the dress had been in the car when it went up in flames. Just like Claire. No wonder Lily had stopped moving. No wonder she had closed off the world. The next week, Ava disappeared for hours at a time. She didn't tell Lily where she was going. She searched online, she called costume shops, she begged seamstresses. Until finally, she came back with a box. When Ava opened it in front of Lily, the little girl's eyes widened for the first time in months. Inside was a perfect replica of the pink dress. Lily reached out a trembling hand, touching the soft fabric as if it might vanish if she blinked too hard. And then, slowly, a smile stretched across her face. Her first real smile since her mother's death. Ava felt her throat tighten. "See that, baby girl," she whispered. "Your mama would want you to wear this again. She'd want you to dance. And I'll be right here with you every step." From that day on, Ava kept the dress hanging on a little rack right across from Lily's bed, where she could see it every morning when she woke up. One rainy afternoon, Ava walked into the room and froze. Lily wasn't on the bed. She was on the floor. Her knees scraped, her little palms pressed to the rug. "Lily!" Ava rushed over, panic in her voice. But then she saw something. Lily's legs trembling, trying to push herself up. Her face was red, frustrated, but determined. I tried," Lily stammered through tears. "I wanted to dance." Ava's heart ached. She realized the truth. Lily had once tried to dance alone after her mom's death. She had fallen. And in that fall, she had given up, not just dancing but walking at all. Now, months later, here she was trying again. Ava knelt beside her, voice steady, eyes brimming with tears. "You don't have to do it alone anymore, Lily. I'm here. I promise I'm here." Lily's tiny body shook as she tried to push herself upright. Her hair clung to her tear-streaked cheeks. She looked at Ava with desperation, almost like she was asking permission to try again. Ava took a deep breath and nodded. "Okay, sweetheart, let's do this together." She gently placed her hands under Lily's arms, steady but not lifting, just guiding. "I'm not going to carry you. You're strong enough. I just want to make sure you don't fall." Lily bit her lip and pressed down with her legs. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a shaky exhale, she rose, wobbly, unsteady, but standing. Her eyes widened in shock. I'm up." Ava's smile broke wide. "Yes, baby. You're up. Look at you." Lily's little hands gripped Ava's fingers tightly. "Don't let go." "I won't," Ava promised, her voice trembling with emotion. "Not until you say so." They stood like that for a few moments, the room silent except for the sound of Lily's breathing and the soft rain pattering against the tall windows. Then Lily glanced across the room. Her eyes locked on the pink dress, hanging just above the floor, waiting. I wanna go to it," she whispered. Ava's chest tightened. Okay, one step at a time. I've got you. Lily leaned forward, her legs shaking violently under her. The first step was clumsy, her foot dragging, but Ava steadied her. There you go, Ava encouraged softly. One more. Another step, then another. Each one small, painful but real. The kind of steps that weren't about distance, but about reclaiming something that had been stolen from her. Halfway across the room, Lily's strength faltered. She let out a sob. I can't. Yes, you can, Ava interrupted, her voice firm but gentle. Your mama is right here with us. Every step you take, she's smiling. I know it. Lily blinked through tears, breathing hard, and then she took another shaky step. Finally, they reached the dress. Lily reached out, her little fingers brushing the soft fabric. She let out a sound, half laugh, half sob, and collapsed against Ava's chest. I did it, she whispered. Ava hugged her tightly, her own tears soaking into Lily's hair. Yes, you did. And tomorrow we'll do it again. That night, Ava tucked Lily into bed. The dress still hung across from her, glowing in the dim lamplight. Lily's eyelids grew heavy, but just before she fell asleep, she murmured, Ava, do you think one day I'll dance again? Ava brushed the girl's hair gently from her forehead. Her voice was steady, though her heart was breaking. One day, sweetheart. And when you do, the whole world's gonna see it. The next morning, the mansion was buzzing. Staff whispered in the hallways, unsure if what they had heard was true. She stood up. One of the housekeepers asked in disbelief. Mr. Morgan won't believe it, another replied. Richard Morgan, Lily's father, hadn't stepped fully into his daughter's room in weeks. He couldn't bear it. Every time he saw her sitting still, silent, he saw Claire's ghost in her face. Work had become his escape. Boardrooms, meetings, numbers, they were easier than grief. But that morning, Ava found him in his study, buried behind his desk, staring blankly at his laptop screen. Mr. Morgan, she said gently. He looked up, startled. He had barely spoken to the new nanny since she was hired. Yes? Is something wrong? Ava hesitated, then smiled softly. Something's very right. You should come upstairs. When Richard walked into Lily's room, he froze. His daughter wasn't in bed. She was standing, trembling, gripping the edge of the dresser with her small hands, her pink nightgown brushing her knees. Daddy, Lily's voice was small but steady. His heart dropped. Lily. She turned toward him, wobbly but determined. Ava stood a few feet away, hands ready in case Lily lost balance. Watch, Lily whispered. Then, with all the courage her little body could gather, she took one shaky step forward. Richard's hand shot to his mouth. His eyes filled instantly. My God! Another step, then another. She stumbled, almost falling, but Ava's calm voice steadied her. That's it, sweetheart. One more. Richard crossed the room in 2 strides, kneeling just as Lily reached him. She collapsed into his arms, burying her face in his chest. I walk, Daddy, she whispered, her voice muffled by his shirt. Richard clutched her tight, his body shaking. For the first time in months, his tears weren't just grief, they were hope. He looked up at Ava, who stood silently by the door. Their eyes met. He mouthed, thank you. Ava just nodded. That night, after Lily had fallen asleep, Richard lingered by her bed. The pink dress swayed slightly from the air vent, glowing softly in the dim light. She's going to wear that again, isn't she? He said quietly, not looking away from it. Yes, Ava replied. When she's ready. Richard finally turned to her. His face was worn, eyes red, but there was something new in his voice, a crack of vulnerability he hadn't allowed anyone to hear. I don't know how to do this without Claire, he admitted. But tonight, I saw my little girl again. Ava's eyes softened. You don't have to do it alone, Mr. Morgan. Neither does she. For the first time, silence in the room didn't feel heavy. It felt like the beginning of something. Days passed, then weeks. And every day, Ava made Lily try again. At first, it was only a few shaky steps before Lily would collapse into Ava's arms, exhausted. But Ava never let those moments feel like failure. Look at you, she'd whisper, brushing the hair from Lily's damp forehead. That's 3 more steps than yesterday. That's victory, baby girl. Lily would smile faintly, even through her tears. And slowly, the steps grew steadier. One afternoon, Ava found Lily staring at the dress again. The sunlight streamed through the tall windows, casting a soft glow across the room. Lily's fingers fidgeted in her lap. I want to wear it, she whispered. Ava crouched in front of her. The pink dress. Lily nodded. But I'm scared. What if I fall again? What if I can't dance like her? Ava took her tiny hands in her own. Falling doesn't mean you stop. It means you're learning how to stand stronger. Your mama didn't dance because she was perfect, Lily. She danced because it made her heart alive. You can have that too. Lily blinked, her eyes glossy. Will you help me? With every step, Ava promised. That evening, Ava helped Lily into the dress. It fit her like it was always meant to, soft pink fabric flowing just above her knees, a small satin bow at the waist. For a moment, Lily caught her reflection in the mirror and gasped. I look like her, she whispered. Richard, who had quietly entered the room, froze in the doorway. His heart clenched. Claire's spirit felt so close it almost hurt. Ava noticed him but said nothing. She simply extended her hand toward Lily. Come on, ballerina. Lily took it. Slowly, carefully, she stepped into the center of the room. Ava hummed softly, a melody she remembered from one of the old videos of Claire dancing. Lily's feet shuffled, wobbled, then found rhythm. And then, like something breaking free, she twirled. Just once, clumsy and small, but real. Her giggle filled the room. Richard covered his face with his hands, his shoulders trembling. He hadn't heard that sound in months. Lily stumbled after the twirl, almost falling, but Ava caught her mid-spin and steadied her. They laughed together. You did it, Ava whispered, hugging her. I danced, Lily said breathlessly, her eyes shining. I really danced. That night, after Lily had fallen asleep, the dress carefully laid across the chair, Richard stood in the hallway, waiting for Ava. When she stepped out, he said quietly, I don't know how to thank you. You don't have to, she replied. She's the one doing the work. I just gave her a reason to believe again. Richard hesitated. His voice was raw, honest. You've done more for her in weeks than I've managed in months. I thought money, doctors, experts would fix it. But it was you. Ava looked at him, her gaze steady. It wasn't me, Mr. Morgan. It was her mother's love. I just reminded her it's still here. Richard nodded slowly. For the first time, he didn't feel like the billionaire CEO everyone else saw. He just felt like a father, learning to breathe again. And Ava? She felt like she had stepped into something bigger than a job. Something unspoken. Spring came. The gardens outside the Morgan estate were alive again, blossoms spilling across the hedges, the air soft with warmth. And inside, the house that had once felt like a tomb now pulsed with life again. Lily's laughter echoed down the marble halls. She walked now, not perfectly, not always steady, but she walked. And more than that, she danced. Ava had made a ritual of playing Claire's favorite piano pieces in the evenings. At first, Lily would only sway, small steps in her pink dress. But each night, her movements grew stronger, freer, her joy blooming again like the flowers outside. One Saturday evening, Richard gathered the staff in the ballroom. The chandeliers glittered above, and the polished floor gleamed. He stood awkwardly, his hand resting on Lily's shoulder. She has something she wants to show you all, he announced, his voice thick with pride. Lily, in her pink dress, stepped into the center of the room. Ava started the music. The little girl lifted her chin, just like her mother used to. And then she danced. Her steps were not perfect. She stumbled, she hesitated, but her spirit carried her. She twirled, spun, and leapt with all the light her small body could hold. The dress flared, the room hushed, and in that moment, it felt as if Claire herself was in the room, smiling. When the music ended, Lily bowed shyly. The staff burst into applause. Richard rushed forward, scooping her into his arms, tears streaming freely. You did it, baby, he whispered, his voice breaking. You danced like Mama would have wanted. Lily hugged his neck tightly. I felt her, Daddy. I felt her here. She touched her chest. Richard kissed her forehead, holding her close. Later that night, after Lily had gone to bed, Richard found Ava standing on the balcony, gazing at the stars. She's alive again because of you, he said quietly. Ava shook her head. Because of her mother. Because of love. I only helped her remember it. Richard was silent for a moment, then exhaled. Still, thank you. For saving my little girl. For saving me too. Their eyes met, and in the silence, something unspoken passed between them. Not romance, not yet, but respect, gratitude, and a bond forged in grief and healing. In Lily's room, the pink dress hung neatly on the chair by her bed. The fabric swayed gently in the evening breeze from the open window, almost like it was dancing on its own. And as Lily drifted into sleep, a smile on her face, it was clear. She hadn't just learned to walk again. She had learned to live again. Her mother's legacy was alive in every step. And Ava would be there, every step of the way.